Welcome back to Kilimo na Biashara, and I can quite literally smell onions. And you know, it's harvest time. Samuel.
Yes.
So hapa ni kuharvest.
Sasa ndio inavunwa hapa. Lakini kuanzia hapa sasa tutaendelea na agronomist yako hapa.
Bernard.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello too. Karibuni.
Naona mko kazi.
Hapa ni kazi.
Harvest iko aje?
Harvest iko sawa. Ndio tunaendelea hapa.
Okay.
Yes.
So nini inaendelea hapa?
Hapa kwa sasa tunakata majani na mizizi kwa kitunguu. Tubaki na the bulb yenyewe. Yes.
Sasa kuharvest kwenyewe?
Kuharvest sasa tutapita pande nyingine wana harvest. Yeah, hii ni kukata tu.
Okay, sawa. Yes. Twende tu harvest tutafika hii level.
Okay.
Haya. Na ziko makubwa makubwa.
Hapa zimekomaa, that's why unaona ziko juu. Yes.
Hii ziko kubwa na zingine ni white na zingine ni red. Ni variety gani iko hapa?
Hii ni white variety, tunaita white grano. Na hii ni red onion.
Gani ni good for production?
Ile inatumika kwa sana ni red bulb. Yeah, hizi nyingine nyeupe inakuwa na watu specific kuzitumia.
So mkulima anafaa afanye nini ili kuhakikisha amepata mazao mazuri kwa shamba?
Kitu ya kwanza unachagua variety yenye unapanda. Na unachagua ile variety itakupatia higher yield. You make your seed bed ikuwe fertile. That is kitunguu from production inataka a fine tilled. Si kitunguu unapanda kwenye kuna mawe, it will not perform. So you prepare a fine tilled, shamba yako umeweka borea, and then you add kukue kuna availability ya maji. Juu maji is one essential part ya the growth of onion.
Mkulima wetu alituambia onions ziko na nitrogen nyingi sana. That's why anafanya crop rotation. Is crop rotation that important?
So hiyo nitrogen kwanza itatumia yenye itapata imefix hapo kwa mchanga through nitrogen fixation. Hii nyingine ita-enable hii mmea vegetative growth. That is hiyo mmea inapata majani ya kulisha hiyo mmea in order to prepare and to supply food for the forming bulb.
Kwa mtu ama mkulima mwenye ameona hii show na uko interested kuanza upanzi wa onions, utamuadvise aanze na bulb onions ama na spring onions?
Depending the financial status of the farmer, unaweza advise mkulima aanzie na ile spring onion. Juu hiyo ni kitunguu yenye itakaa sana kwa shamba. Within a month, that onion you're interested with the leaves and part of the stem. Whereas on the other hand, the red onions inakaa 3 to 4 months kwa shamba. So anaweza tangulia ile na ni cheaper, si kama hii iko na kazi mingi if you compare it with the spring onion. And then mbegu ya spring onion it's much cheaper kuliko the red onion.
Kitunguu ina affectwa na magonjwa kama gani?
Ni rust. Rust ndio unapata kitunguu, unaweza pata kitunguu yako kama hii. Unaona ni kama imemachua, juu kitunguu imemachua inakausha majani. Lakini rust inakausha majani. And it's associated with a grayish color that we term as a powder. Ukifanya hivi utapata uko na a gray powder. Sasa hii inakuwa rust. Na hiyo huwa inakula majani, inamaliza majani ya kitunguu. Kitunguu inabaki haina majani, unaona ni kama imekomaa. Kuna hii nyingine inaitwa downy. Lakini hiyo downy mildew is more much kwa kitunguu ikiwa kwa nursery. Alafu tena to control hizo diseases, you advise a farmer to use appropriate fungicides and alternate. One big threat ya pest ya mkulima ni thrips. Na hiyo ndo the main pest kwa mkulima.
So tunaweza enda tuone zile mmefanyia value addition.
Okay, before tuende kufanya tuone value addition, kuna kitunguu imekomaa tunaweza harvest alafu tupeleke huko.
Tuende tufanyie value addition first hand. Hiyo ni mzito. We are done here. Now we are going to the value addition section. Let's go. Na ni tuzito. So tuangalie hii ni how many kgs? Ni aje?
Ni aje kwa sana. Hii ni
22 kg.
Oh, it's 22 kg.
Yes.
Twende tuone itatoa ngapi kwa soko.
Na kabisa.
So hizi pia twende nazo.
Ndio, hata hizi tunaenda nazo.
Twende. Derek, how are you?
I'm good, I'm good. How are you? Karibu sana.
Thank you. I've heard about soko la potatoes, but I've never heard for soko la onions.
Now here we are. Karibu sana.
So what happens here?
So I'll give you a little bit of a story of how this whole thing started. So we work in different value chains, but our biggest and most interesting value chain is actually the onion. And it happens that we are in the largest onion producing region in Kenya, here in Kieni. So one of the challenges that farmers were having is that they lacked facilities to support what we call first mile and second mile value addition. So for example, the farmer has planted, he has harvested, then what next? Because one of the biggest challenges is that you cannot move an onion directly from the farm to the market. It has to go through some basic value addition.
So you've talked about value.
Yes.
What do you really do with onions? What's the process of value addition for onions?
Also, when the farmers harvest their onions, they bring them to the hub. So what happens that when they bring them to the hub, we're able to take note of the different kilograms. And then what we do at first level is to grade them. All right. So like if you look at this onion, this is essentially what we call grade 2. So it's large. It's preferred by supermarkets, restaurants, and institutions. Then we have the premium grade, which is this. This is now grade 1. So it's a medium size type of an onion. And then we have the super small onions. And then we have onions that have been disfigured and the likes. So all that happens here because now we're able to grade them into the different grades or the different sizes for the different markets. So we make sure that we pay farmers, at least within 6 hours when they deliver the produce, or 12 hours when they harvest. And this is a big incentive. So onions take roughly 5 days, to achieve the curated level that is needed. So that is usually happening at our drying shed, and that is up to 5 days.
So when you talk about drying, what does it really involve?
Onions themselves have a way of drying in a pretty short time. So usually we just put them in the drying facility. In fact, most of the time they actually just dried when they're still in the bags, to make it very easy for just onward logistics.
How much will it cost a farmer to dry their produce here? Let's say a ton or a kilo.
Between harvesting and when the farmer produce gets here, it usually has attracted a cost of between 3 to 5 shillings. So 2 shillings per kilo is usually the first level grading, and then 1 to 2 shillings usually the logistics from the farm to the hub, depending on how far the farm is from the hub, and then a shilling is usually for the packaging material. So in fact, currently we have just rolled out a program. We're encouraging farmers from this region to bring their onions for free storage for up to 2 weeks. This
is a project that you came up with during COVID. You're so passionate about innovation. Tell us about what you've started here. We are iFarm, farmer first. So that's a core value that we have. And then we are innovation driven. So innovation happens in 2 ways. Whenever people hear about innovation, then they always think about technology. All right. So there's a technology aspect of our business, which is how we've been able to put up a platform, an e-commerce platform, where buyers can actually come and see
the available stocks, right from wherever they are, in the Republic. So a buyer sitting in Nairobi needing 10 tons can land on our e-commerce platform. They can see the stocks that we have of the different grades. Then they can place an order. And what we do is that we deliver, to them. The second part is what we call, using big data to be able to know how many farmers are currently having onions under production, when they are harvesting, and when they have harvested, how many tons have they been able to harvest. So that integration between data, it helps us make a lot of decisioning, and being able to understand the pattern of production. But now the exciting part about the hub is how we are using now offline infrastructure like this to reinforce our business model, which is all about bringing efficiencies around the onion value chain.
Derek, we find onions throughout the year, but what are the market dynamics really?
So how the market looks like is that the regional demand for onions, that is East Africa, is actually roughly 750,000 metric tons. All right. Unfortunately, the Kenyan farmer has been outcompeted and only supplies 15% of that regional demand.
Sahi bei ya kitunguu iko aje?
So farm gate price, it means farmers are selling at 50 shillings per kilo. And then in the markets, open markets, it's 80 bob per kilo. And then, the structured market, the supermarkets, fresh chains, it's in excesses of 100 bob per kilo. So if there's a farmer who is actually harvesting right now, then they're cashing in big.
Hey, that's money.
That's big money.
Derek, I have a funny question. Why do we cry when we cut onions?
When an onion is broken, the cells release an enzyme called allicin. So allicin is irritant to our eyes. Our eyes produce the tears to wash away the allicin from our eyes.
What's really the best time to grow onions?
Demand is sustained across the year, but supply keeps fluctuating, right? Yet demand is constant. So the farmer, we support farmers a lot on insights so that they know, for example, if they have a production period or a harvesting period of between August to December, then they're going to cash in big time.
Would you say onion farming is a lucrative business?
Yes. In fact, the farmers in this particular area do onion farming as a commercial business for them. And looking at other crops, I can say that onion is quite lucrative because looking at the dynamics, the production on 1 acre, proper production, quality production can easily yield between 15 to 20 tons per acre.
Thank you so much, Derek. You're doing an amazing job, especially in linking farmers to the markets. Wow, I'm totally impressed. Derek tells me that in 3 months you've harvested your crop, and let's say you harvest 10 tons at a farm gate price of 50 shillings, that's a whooping $500,000. Quite lucrative, I know. You might as well try this type of crop. Thank you so much for watching today's episode of Kilimo na Biashara. Until next time, my name is Linda Koskei.